When I stand here and I reminisce about my past, I'm living a life I worked so hard for so many years to have. I'm living a life I love. I have 2 legs. I'm normal. But as I take a step, reality slaps me in the face. That life I love so much, I know it's gone. I know I'll never have it back. I'm different. I stand out trying to walk on a mechanical leg. I'm not normal and never again will be. But I ask you, what is your definition of normal? I know what the English dictionary tells us. Conforming to a standard. Typical. Expected. I can hear my wife right now. Bud, you've never been normal. You've always marched to the beat of a different drum. I'd really like to think that's a compliment, but I'm not so sure. Tonight I'm going to ask you to go on a journey with me into my past so I can show you what I've been through to help you better understand who I've become. 3 years ago, I was laying in the hospital. I've been fighting for 8 months to save my leg. 10 surgeries and 4 blood transfusions later, the day was finally here. The doctor comes into my room and he says, "We've done everything we can. If we don't cut your leg off, you're gonna die." But how do I turn to that woman at my bedside? The one I told 23 years earlier, till death do us part, to sickness and health. I'd already given up. I didn't want to live anymore. That life I once loved. To a crippled old man in a wheelchair, that's not what I signed up for. But I couldn't dig deep enough inside of me to find the words to tell her goodbye. So as you can see, they cut my leg off. And I went home. And I hated every second of every minute of every day. When I laid down at night, my only wish was never to wake up. And I always did. And again, I'd ask myself, what did I do so wrong? Did I deserve this life? I had no reason to get up. Nowhere to go. No one to see. I had no purpose anymore. As I watched the months crawl by, as I looked out my living room window, they finally gave me my very first leg. Every step came with excruciating pain. I fell so many times. I broke my wrist. I broke my ribs. But I kept getting up. It meant so much to me to be able to look people in the eye again instead of up from a wheelchair. I refused to give up. One day my wife asked me, she said, "Would you come to the elementary school and volunteer with the little kids? They would love you." It breaks my heart for you to sit here at home and feel so sorry for yourself. She is right. They called me Mr. Transformer. They'd high-five me going down the hall. They'd always hug me. And one day a bunch of them asked me, "Mr. R, how did you lose your leg?" Not wanting to tell them it was from an infection, I said it was a shark bite. Boy, I just became the coolest guy in town. I could have signed autographs all day long. They'd go down the hall. "Mr. R, how big was that shark?" "Oh, it was this big." "Mr. R, did it bleed a lot?" "Boy, it bled a lot." "Mr. R, did it hurt?" "Oh, yes, it hurt." And the whole time I'm waiting for one of these children to pull out a smartphone and find out I was full of crap. But then I'd go home. I'd go back to that life I hated so much, waiting for the opportunity to go back. But you see, all that changed one day. I was volunteering in the cafeteria at lunchtime, and I watched this little boy take his lunch, and he goes over and he sits at a table all alone. And he lays out these 2 napkins, and in one he puts his pizza, the other his French fries. And he puts them in his backpack along with his applesauce and his 2 milks. Thinking he didn't feel good, I went over and I asked him. And he looked up at me. He said, "Sir, I was able to eat breakfast this morning. My little sister hasn't eaten since yesterday." I asked him, "Where's your little sister? We'll buy her a lunch." This time when he looked up, there was tears running down his cheeks. Sir, you don't understand. My sister's 3 years old, and we live in a car because my dad can't find a job. It was in them 15 seconds that boy taught me a lesson I hadn't learned my whole life. He cared more for his little sister eating that day than he did himself. You see, he taught me that there's more to life than what's about you. There's more in this world than what the world owes you. I bought him Lunchables. We kept it, my wife's refrigerator, full of them from that day on. And he would come in every day and he would grab however many he needed to take home to share with his sister. And then one day his dad found a job. They got a place to live. He changed schools. But you see, I never got the chance to tell him thank you. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for giving me the reason to live. For helping me find my purpose again. You see, I know I'm different. I know I stand out when I walk on this mechanical leg. And I know I'm not normal, but I'm okay with that. Because when I get up every morning and I put my leg on and I go out my front door, I'm incredible. All of us are incredible. We always have been. We always will be. You don't have to lose your leg to find it. You just need to dig deep and believe in yourself. And I promise you, if you believe in yourself, you can help me change this world for our children and their grandchildren. Together, we can all make a difference. We just need to do it one step at a time.